Okay. Me kojo manini ye.
Se we hu me akwesi me ya me adwoa se we hu manye
Ewe me adwoa. Abaye wi se bi ana.
no me
Adwoa.
adwoa manye ni ye. You understand?
Sir?
At a point in time you have to admit it.
Okay.
Sometimes we have to own up to our demons.
Right.
That's how we get exorcism
Sure.
and redemption. If you don't own up to your demons, there's no way you can be freed of them. Yes, this is my fault.
Okay.
Admittedly, I'm a flirty person. In my past relationship, maybe I was flirting around too much. My lady didn't like it. So in my next one, I would make sure I don't go on that same train, or it would wreck the same relationship too.
Okay.
People have to self-accountability, like I watched on Romance Academy the other time. You understand? It's a very, very, very educative and innovative program. I tell you no lie. I was watching, I just sat back and I was like, yeah, Nana Konedu, you are onto something. Yes, this is something educative. I tell you no lie. Because if you don't account for certain things in life, you will hit a stumbling block without even realizing it.
Okay.
At a point in time, you have to admit that certain issues that ruined your relationship were your fault too. You don't always go throwing or playing the blame game. It was his fault. It wasn't my fault. I couldn't do that. No, at a point in time.
Hello there. This is Love City. My name is Nana Kunidu, and you know that all you need is love. Definitely. Oh, come on, see, the gentleman in the corner here is smiling like that. It's either say what told them, and now we really bet, and I don't know. This is Love City, and a life lived in love can never be boring. It's not dull. It's the best thing man could ever ask for, right? A life lived in love. Gosh, it's never boring. Love is love. Love is sweet. I take a breather when I come back. I tell you the gentleman smiling at me, who he is. Probably you would know who he is, or maybe you would not. Stay, don't go anywhere. Welcome back. Men at work, indeed, men at work. This is Love City. Tell a friend to tell another friend that we are on. Remember to subscribe to our channels, okay? And keep sending in your comments and contributions. In the studios today, I have the Grandmaster himself,
Nana
Paula
Konedu,
Darling.
ever dashing.
Tell me, why were you smiling at me?
I mean, you were so focused on love. The way you were emphasizing on love, it was just heartwarming.
Oh,
Yes. I mean, love is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
One of my favorite Nigerian musicians once said, "Love is sweet, but when money enter, love is sweeter."
Sweeter.
You understand?
So if money enter and love is sweeter, then if abundance, wealth enter, and it's sweetest.
Money is like the Maggie for love.
I know, right?
You understand?
I know, right?
You dey love somebody where you hold kakra where you enter. That Maggie feeling where you understand.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I mean, love is a beautiful feeling. Everybody
Right.
should at one time in their life experience what real love and true love is. So I agree with you 100%.
Okay. Today we are not doing a story. We are not doing a story today at all. What we are doing today is we want to educate ourselves on how important it is for one to let sleeping dogs lie in a relationship. How important that is. If one keeps holding on to past issues, past events, how do that, or how does that affect a relationship? What are some of the effects it has on relationships? What are some of the effects that can have?
First of all, alhamdulillah for the gift of life. I want to thank your cherished viewers for always staying with us. Like you keep saying, they're all MVPs. Yes, they keep sharing our stuff. These days when I'm in town, I've been hearing my name, Grandmaster. I saw you on YouTube. Like,
Sir?
and one, no. You understand? So we appreciate you all. We appreciate you for sharing our stuff. Yes, like I've said countless times on this very program, before you jump into any relationship, you make sure you fix yourself.
Right.
Because some way, somehow, after every relationship, some part of you is broken.
Okay.
It depends on how it ends. Usually, even if it ends with a mutual consent, you are still broken. You might inherit some of your ex-partner's demons too. So it's good you seek therapy. It's good you seek some kind of guidance or counseling from a higher authority. Right. And make sure you are ready for the next step in a relationship before you decide to go into a relationship.
Okay.
Let's take it from this angle. You have an ex who every weekend spends their money on you for you to fix your hair.
Okay.
That is Kwabena rich man. Maybe you've met Jojo.
Jojo Foreman.
Jojo, no, not
but
Jojo.
But you said Kwabena rich man.
No, I'm talking for myself. Not Jojo poor man.
Okay.
But Jojo might not have the resources like Kwabena do.
Okay.
You understand?
Jojo average man.
You understand? So let's say Jojo working class man.
Okay.
You understand?
Jojo is a working class man.
Yes, but
Kwabena
is a business tycoon.
Oh, okay.
You understand?
Okay, he has
he's
money.
He's a betpreneur, entrepreneur, everything.
Every
entrepreneur. So you see,
okay.
You might have fallen for Jojo because Jojo has a solid 9 to 5.
Okay.
And you probably, because Kwabena is an all over the place kind of guy, you think Jojo is the better option.
Right.
Because on paper, Kwabena might look like he's a flirty kind of person. Okay. So you've left Kwabena for Jojo. That's understandable. You don't leave a relationship with the same expectations going to the next one. It doesn't happen. If you watch these very fingers, they are not equal.
They're not equal.
All men can't be equal to.
Right.
I might have some traits you don't like. The next man might also have them. He or she might not have them also. So before you leave any relationship, you should make sure that you are healed. Whatever broke you from the past relationship, should it be something you are taking into the next one?
Okay.
You are somebody who is a neat freak. Make sure when you go into the next relationship, you talk to the person. This is how I like my place kept. This is how I like things kept. I don't like you doing your laundry in the room or you keeping your dirty clothes in the room for 2-3 days.
Right.
Wash them when you take them off.
Okay.
If you love me, you have to love my dog.
Right.
It's very simple. Life is not that complicated. We tend to complicate life for ourselves. Make sure that whatever was the reason why you left the past relationship, you don't go and repeat them in the next one.
Okay.
Admit certain things in life too. You have to admit certain things. At a point in time, you can't keep playing the blame game. It was Richard's fault. It was Richard's fault. No, at a point in time, you have to admit it. Oh, me abena manyeni ye.
Okay. Me kojo manyeni ye.
Se we hu. Me akwesi. Me ajwa. Se we hu.
Manyeni. Me ajwa. Abaye use we ana.
No, me ajwa. Me ajwa manyeni ye. You understand? At a point in time, you have to admit it.
Okay.
Sometimes we have to own up to our demons.
Right.
That's how we get exorcism and redemption. If you don't own up to your demons, there's no way you can be freed of them. Yes, this is my fault.
Okay.
Admittedly, I'm a flirty person. In my past relationship, maybe I was flirting around too much. My lady didn't like it. So in my next one, I would make sure I don't go on that same train, or it would wreck the same relationship too.
Okay.
People have to self-accountability. Like I watched on Romance Academy the other time. You understand? It's a very, very, very educative and innovative program. I tell you no lie. I was watching. I just sat back and I was like, yeah, Nana Konedu, you are onto something. Yes, this is something educative. I tell you no lie. Because if you don't account for certain things in life, you will hit a stumbling block without even realizing it.
Okay.
At a point in time, you have to admit that certain issues that ruined your relationship were your fault too. You don't always go throwing it or playing the blame game. It was his fault. It wasn't my fault. I couldn't do that. No, at a point in time, just sit down carefully and analyze it. Because I know some ladies and some gentlemen in town that it's the same thing that keeps ruining their relationship over and over again. But then they've made it their life's work to always blame it on their partners.
But could it be that, so as human as we can be, we like to blame things on people. Like, I don't know, for some weird reason, out of 100, 80 do that. Oh, baby say, oh, no. Eh, oh, no, yeah. Eh, oh, no, yeah. Oh, no. I didn't do this. Even, so no can na, he or she would find a very small thing. Small, like I said, to tweak, exactly. I love the fact that you mentioned self-accountability. We are not self-accountable.
At all.
And it's daunting. It doesn't help our relationships. It's very difficult for people to be self-accountable. Now I want to ask you this question. How would one tell that, okay, I didn't do this right, with a full chest? Because I feel it's very difficult for one to accept his or her wrongdoings when it comes to relationship. I'm saying there's not to attack the men, but it's something very common.
You want to attack them?
It's something very common with the men.
Okay.
Like, the light, say, me a bema. I'm the right person. I did it right. Okay, so it means that if you do something and
no, it's just masculine toxicity. It's not something that's actually like a thing. Okay. But then, I think...
Have we not normalized?
No. You see, I would advise the future generation to desist from things like that.
Okay.
So a man should always be right.
Yes.
I'm the man of the house. When I speak, it should be final. You see, no, that's what I'm saying, sir. If you find yourself in a space or in a relationship where your man has to always remind you that he's the man in the relationship, it's not worth it. Of course. Okay. I am the man. No. Let your manhood speak for you.
Okay.
Let your masculinity speak for you.
Manhood say.
You don't
I understand.
You understand?
Oh, me, I'm okay. Me, I'm okay, but my audience.
Let your manhood speak for you. I don't mean say you with Japadi and to Adeja. No.
You almost said something. I was reading your lips.
Not that. No, you know my chi, it's poor. So, but not that sort of manhood thing to the public. No,
right.
Don't go and wise grade your manhood to the public. I beg you. What I'm saying here is, let the actions be let it be an exemplary life of how a man would live.
Okay.
You a man, don't go doing what boys would do.
What boys would do. Every man has a boy in him.
Of course, but then I have a place where I'll show you that boy in me.
Oh, okay.
You get it?
Okay.
There are limits and extents where I would show you my boyish nature.
Okay.
We are in town. You know you are in town with your lady. Your lady craves attention. Then you have your eyes glued on another lady's back behind.
Watching.
Meanwhile, you are working with another.
Like focused.
You are starstruck.
Very focused.
Like you've seen Shatawale. Now we need to see a Tony Susi. 360. Oh, call.
Na man's way. Na man's way.
You see?
There are some ladies who see other guys and
they're like, wow, they are doing yes. Now say
exactly.
You understand? Sometimes you have to compose. Say you can watch. I mean, body effect.
Please, Grandmaster Emma Moline.
You can watch.
Tell them how to do it.
When I see the beautiful handwork of God, I admire. Because I know sometimes I'm in town. People come to me and tell me, "Oh, Abrante, Abrante, come out. Abrante, I get that kind of interactions a lot.
Right.
So it's understandable. Sometimes I see some of the fine sisters and I'm like, yo.
You're fine.
This one, God takes on holiday or some weekend we take return.
Okay.
So sometimes I am a mistake. Especially when I'm with someone that I know won't like the whole, you get it.
Comfortable.
So sometimes when you are with your partners and you have to watch.
Okay.
I mean, that's the one who be fair.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay.
In such to me,
all right.
You are fine, someone is finer. Okay. You are hot, someone is hotter. Me personally, when I see things in town that I admire, I watch to learn something from it.
Okay.
I have seen, you see, that's the problem. Most men just want to watch and stare. Me, I want to watch and learn something and come and teach my lady back at home.
Okay.
Or I want to watch and learn and come and teach my lady in town.
Okay.
So probably there's this outfit doing justice to her skin color that I have seen, that I admire so much. I want to watch and learn. We shouldn't always watch and be starstruck. Sometimes there has to be lessons in what you are watching.
Right.
Now, there be a tony no phone, a tony no phone. More shedding.
You sound like Prophet Control. Anyway, Grant, I want to ask you this question: that letting sleeping dogs lie in a relationship. I mean, if you have a partner who is argumentative, adibakusia, and lie da, he or she would go back and forth with you. I would not want to be in a relationship like that. But there are some people who would want to say, let me stay. I love him, I love her. How do we keep that in our relationships? Is it even healthy to be in a relationship with somebody who is so argumentative?
You see, great minds think alike, so I heard. But then there's one thing I don't condone in relationships.
Okay.
This is it. Before anything or certain things happen in every relationship, there are things that triggers it.
Okay.
I would cast my mind back and not mention name or tell you where this thing happened, but then a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend brought an issue to me. So this is the thing. This is the issue. The whole thing is, he has a very apologetic girlfriend.
Okay.
Yes, down to earth apologetic.
She's always saying I'm sorry, even if she's not at fault.
No, but then that's not a problem. She has a repetitive behavior that she's always sorry for.
Okay. Okay.
So at a point in time, you realize that your sorry
do not mean
anything anymore.
Right.
Because you offend, you say I'm sorry. You offend, you say I'm sorry. Then you do the same thing again. You do the same thing again. Sometimes these things, they tend to ruin our relationships.
Right.
At a point in time, self-accountability once again. Own your shit. Own up to it. Sit down. Make wabana. Afi. Onyankopon. Just the way I'm doing this, let your hand be on your chest. Wholeheartedly. Confess. Tell God. In this next relationship you are trying to enter, relationship.
Okay.
Before I ask this lady out, or before I ask this man out, those hideous and tedious things I've been doing behind closed doors, that keep ruining my relationships. Lord, let me stop. Because you realize that we've normalized such things. Right. Oh no, I mean, you are not a puppy. I don't owe you. So you can make friends too, but then there should be limits.
Okay.
The stick they use hit band, the same stick they use hit techi. Aba edibo baano. Everyone edibo techi. So what you say? Yes. So there's one thing you should know. I believe so much in karma. You can't be ruining other people's relationship then you expect to have peace. No, it won't work. Sometimes we invite certain curses and enemies on our side without even knowing.
Okay.
You are in a relationship with Ajua. Focus on Ajua. You can't say Ajua is not much of a talker. Make Ajua a talker.
Okay.
You have to fine-tune your lady and your man how you want them.
Okay.
You like men in long sleeve shirts. Probably your man is a t-shirt kind of guy.
Buy
long sleeves for him. You like this whole short knee level skirts kind of ladies. Your lady is the kind of trousers to the no. Buy it for her. Let her rock them.
Things like that bring about arguments in a relationship.
Yes, of course, because probably they be attire we nkwana wo she. So makache say style we asise mu kakra. So we de bia me fro say yenko bebia attire ba ko na. Before you realize you're all over the place like you.
Right.
Sometimes we have to these things can be avoided.
How?
Listen to your partner.
Okay.
Try to make sense out of the senseless things you think they are saying.
Okay.
Own up. Own up to your mistakes. We can't be right all the time. We are never perfect. There's nowhere in the scriptures or in the good book that says that humans are perfect. We are flawed.
Right.
Even if you think you know, give room to learn something new. There are some people who think they are all knowing. I mean, I have dated over 10 men, and
I've seen it all.
I've seen it all. I can never, when I tell my man he's wrong, he's wrong. Because probably in my previous relationships, I have always been right. No, maybe this is the one who sets the standard for you. This is the one that changes the status quo. This is the very one that would meet you up there. You might be an intellectual. Your man might not know as much as you know. You can bring him to that standard.
Okay. For how many times do one need to say something, one particular thing, for a long while? I mean, you keep saying, like you mentioned, probably Bebe wears shirts, but I love guys who wear long sleeves. Debbie American wants them. At what point do I need to stop?
Before we delve into that, I have to emphasize on the way you arrange it and when the particular time you tell him or her or your partner to like adjust their dressing.
Okay, not only on dressing, but
lifestyle and everything. You get
so
it.
it doesn't seem as if you are arguing.
Sometimes people go about this thing very wrong. Like, yeah, ready a EP. And then what's our shady way? No. That's not the approach.
Okay.
Oh, me do. Some me catch you say last night at we mention. Oh, would I too late? Me power chopper. Next time you be PR, share na one ship you.
Okay.
Why? And I about quite so I can't. I mean, this is the approach. Or your badging bar. There's something in there that will tick. You get it?
Okay.
There's something in there that will tick because it shouldn't be a violent approach or the person would have to understand that. Nepa no one make kasan. And also, oh, did you matema now or kasamenim or tomifo? Na 220, you know. Ubi una unyama go abonting. You get it? And you updating. No, unyama go abonting.
220.
Unyama go abonting.
It's so now.
Ubete. Where unyama go abonting.
Okay.
You get it? So sometimes you just have to be intellectual about certain things.
Right.
But then, before you even proceed to that, you have to give yourself the room to learn. Probably maybe you were a working class lady, you earn 6 figures a month. You have a man who you think you love, but you want to control him like a puppet. Most ladies tend to do that, especially when they are in places where they some way, somehow earn higher salaries than their men.
Right.
You would hear stuff like, I'm just doing you a favor. I mean, are you serious? You are doing me a favor. I might not have gotten to that level where I want to get to.
Right.
Someone might say potential doesn't pay the bills, but then I am proud of how much potential I carry. You might not see the potential in your man or in your woman, but trust me, the next man somewhere is seeing it and ready to welcome it with open arms. So we have to be very, very cautious how we treat people and how we approach certain things and how we say certain things to our partners. Okay. That also counts.
Okay. Grant, let me take a few messages here. Abba says, it ruins relationships big time. I won't advise anyone to do that. And Kwesi says, this thing itself is witchcraft. Because I don't know why a lady or a guy would want to hit one thing for a very long time. Okay.
So what's sakra? So onka.
Right.
You see, that's the problem. This sort of attitude, like, why are you always on my case? No, you see, that's the thing.
Because if you don't, you keep arguing and it becomes unhealthy.
But the thing is,
for both of you,
the thing I'm talking about might ruin the next relationship for you too.
The person is not ready to change. It takes me to one last question I want to ask. It's good you've taken me there. Grant, if I break up with Kofi and I want to move into my next relationship, you mentioned that we need to heal ourselves. How long do we heal? How do we even know that we are fully healed before we enter into a different relationship? Because there are people who are scared of being alone.
Okay, so this is the thing.
They are scared of loneliness.
It's a very nice question you ask now. This is the thing. You have broken up with Kofi. You want to move on with Kwabena.
Right.
But then, you still talk to Kofi every evening, like you guys used to do when you were dating.
Okay, it's just like breaking up with someone, entering into a relationship, and still communicating with your ex.
Of course.
It's not healthy.
I'm not saying cut ties with your ex.
Okay.
But I would advise you limit the conversation.
All right.
Control the topics.
Okay. I think it falls in line with letting sleeping dogs lie.
Yes,
yeah,
you have to control the narrative.
Right.
You don't have to go talking about things like, hey, I saw your shirt today. The one that I used to wear to your place. The one that you love to see me in. You see, things like that will bring that sort of reminiscing feeling, and you start saying things before you know you are in the Uber next to his house. You see, and love and sex is a very strong bond. People seem to undermine its seriousness.
There is a Ghana adage that says, "Lai momoe, a trophy, lai mo." Oh, it's not lai mo. Lai momo trophy, lai mo. As cliche as it sounds.
So you see, no, yeah, lai momo esa no kaba benkela.
Right.
Because it's an old flame. Probably it hasn't really quenched. You see, and probably whatever broke you guys haven't really had the chance to talk about it, like deep.
Is it necessary to? That's something I would want us to talk about someone on one of our episodes actually. Is it important to sit, even if you are breaking up with your partner, is it important to have a conversation?
You have to get closure.
We'll talk about that later.
You definitely have to get closure. But then we'll
talk about that. Don't give us
let me just brush. Let me just.
No, please.
You know, I'm a big
myself
fan of
and my audience, we don't like it when you brush. Don't brush. We'll talk
you
about
guys like
deep
penetration too much. Make I just brush them.
Brush.
So you see, it doesn't necessarily have to be a face-to-face conversation.
Okay.
Probably if you know you have a weakness or a soft spot for this person, you want to move on. You are moving on from this very person.
Right.
Pick an open sport.
Okay. Hey, open sports.
Oh, it does work.
Okay.
Hold your grounds.
Okay.
Remember why you went there in the first place. It shouldn't end with, I have a movie, let's go home and go and watch it. No.
Okay. I think even with that, it helps with your next relationship.
Of course.
You don't get or tend to show the same attitudes or try living the way you were with your previous.
If you the chop life, chop life.
Exactly.
Don't go into the next relationship trying to take subliminals at your ex too. You see, all these young Gen Zs and millennials have been doing these things. I've been seeing a lot on my timeline. You've been seeing people throwing shots and subliminals at their exes. Right. Madam, Charlie, this street we did this street stop keep. You understand? We will go feel right things. We go feel right things where you wherever you dey, if you go panic. You get them. But when we see you, that's why every 2-3 months you are in a new relationship. Oh yeah, of course. I see these young ones every 2-3 months new relationship. Every 2-3 months new relationship. I ask myself, Charlie, that thing, what's up? Okay. It be some national service or what? Right. You see people and every 2-3 months they are posting new boyfriends.
Right. Okay. Your final thoughts, Grant.
Be mindful of who you are with.
Okay.
Know your partner. Study them. The do's and don'ts in relationship for some time now hasn't really been like a focus. Yes. We have to go back to that old getting to know each other very well. It's very essential because people meet these days in Troskis and Ubers and the next moment they are under the bed sheets together. You know nothing about your partners.
They meet in
of course.
I have not heard this before.
You haven't really connected with someone on the
and like, the next minute you are in bed.
That's a conversation for another day. Exactly. That's a conversation for another day. We should leave that very conversation for another day. But then you should know who you are with. Nana Konedu. That's a conversation for another day.
God, you would have to tell me off camera.
You
tell me off the record. I want to know.
You have to know who you are with. Understand them. Meet them halfway. If you want to grow with someone, you have to understand them.
Right.
Don't go judging people. some people might want to tell you their side of the story. Listen with open ears and open arms. Don't be judgmental.
Okay.
Sometimes you listening alone is therapy enough.
Okay.
For people to heal.
Right.
Listening to people's problem alone is therapy enough.
Okay.
For them to heal.
Okay.
Exactly.
Thank you. And remember to let sleeping dogs lie. Please, it's not everything that you need to be hammering on.
Just
obi catch obi
bia oye obi bia san kwasa den na wo de ex ne ye
and dan we na ye na me ka say enye say biem. You are still they are always finding faults with the little mistakes you do and almost connected with the old ones you do. I this is not healthy. Grant, thank you very much for
it's a pleasure. The pleasure is all mine.
For the education.
Pleasure is all mine.
The insight. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us on our topic on this episode. Thank you too for sending me your comment. Let sleeping dogs lie, okay? So please, I will encourage you to let sleeping dogs lie in your relationship. It is very important. If you want to have a healthy relationship, please let things go, right? Drink a lot of water, eat well. This is Love City. All you need is love. Thank you for sharing your thoughts and comments with me. Remember to tell a friend to tell another friend. Subscribe to our channel. Send in your comments what you want to see on the show. Okay? And we will do just that for you. Until I come your way again, mind your business. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Studios 2 TV. The truth is here, in your eyes.